You want to get a handle on making handles? I got a tip for you. Okay guys, real quick, I wanted to give a little disclaimer before we get too far into this video. The video is not about how to make a handle as much as it is about a little tip and trick I have for adding a ferrule to the end of your wooden handles. The ferrule is the little metal piece at the end of your wooden handle that protects it from splitting when the tool's in use. If you want to see that tip and trick, feel free to fast forward to the end. Otherwise, if you want to see the whole process of me making this wooden handle right here, stay tuned for that as well. Thank you for being here. Shoots. Ooh. Yeah. Okay, welcome back. So all of that was just to get us to this point now where I want to show you the trick that I have for these handles. This was not an episode about how to build a handle as much as what I'm about to show you. Let me zoom in and show you what I'm going to do. Drum roll please. This is what I wanted to show you. Okay, so when you're making these handles, the ferrule seat, or this little tenon right here, we want it to be nice and tight fit. So if you're using these copper fittings, they need to be a kind of a press-on fit, kind of like this here, where you can see this fitting. I'm pushing it on, and if I push it hard enough, it'll seat itself. But what I have found is making that perfectly tight like that is sometimes hard to do, and creeping up on it, you get a little zealous with your skew, and you end up taking off a little bit too much, and you end up with a kind of a loose fit like this here. See that? And that's fine, and what you can do is throw a little epoxy on there, and after you fit your tool in, it should press it out a little bit, and it should work just fine. Here's what I have found though. Instead of using these copper fittings like this, I've been using these, and these are crimp rings. These crimp rings are what they use on the shark bite or PEX fittings where they have the barb that presses into the piece of tubing, and then they have the crimp ring that crimps the whole piece together. I happen to be doing some plumbing, and I have the tool to do the crimping for these rings, and I made a handle for this tool over here, and I had made it quite a bit too small, and I didn't want to redo the handle, and then I realized, well shoot, I can just use one of these crimp rings and press it on there with my crimp tool. Yeah. How about them apples? So as never seen before on YouTube. Let me show you how this is done. Take your ferrule, put it on your handle, take your bit, you want to start pressing it into the handle, and the next thing you're going to want to gently tap this tool, and maybe I'll get a better angle on this. Tap this tool into the handle. Okay, here's where the magic happens. Now that that's seated in there nice and tight, you take your tool and get it around there. Being careful not to hit the wood. There it is. It's never coming out of there. I know, your mind's just like completely blown right now by that information I just gave you. Probably not. But it is a good tip, but I'm not going to leave you with that one. I'm actually going to give you one more tip. As a finish for tool handles, I like to use paste wax. And why? Because when it wears off or wears out, I can reapply it pretty easily, and it just makes a nice soft finish on the wood that I just feel is comfortable in the hand. It's not too slippery, especially on things like chisels. So anyway, there you go. I'm gonna go ahead and put some of this on there, and you'll see that when it's done. And last but not least, if you like this video, please hit the subscribe and like buttons. Maybe send somebody over to my channel. And as always, Shaloha.